Good evening and welcome to the Hemingway Jones Live Fountain Pen Show. Wow, another week. Can you believe it? Summer flies by in a very peculiar way, I feel, that almost no other season does. And I'm not even that much of a summer person, if I'm being honest. The heat makes me tired. But I do get a lot done. There's more light. I had a very busy day. Very productive day at the office. I was on all day, knocking things out. All the things that weigh on me. I needed a clear slate. I feel like I am tremendously close to regaining my footing, to having everything squared away. It's like that line in House of the Dragon, if you're watching that, which is, kind of a tough watch. But she says, Queen Rhaenyra says, I am awash in deficiencies and dilemmas. Allow me to regain my footing and I will attend to your needs. So I'm very close to regaining my footing. So welcome once again to another Hemingway Jones Live Fountain Pen Show. I see many of the regulars here, which I appreciate, in the chat. Always lovely to hear from you. And you guys are chatting away already, 120 chats in. And the show's only 2 minutes old, which is pretty amazing. So thank you for that. You are the cursive literate. You guys can recognize what color ink it is at sight. That's an amazing gift. So I feel honored and so happy to be here. We have an interesting topic tonight. It's something I've been reflecting on quite a bit lately as I head in to the DC Pen Show this weekend. And that is, I don't want to pay for luxury. I don't. And I'll explain why, what made me think of it, and all the different aspects of this. And I think you'll have a pretty good idea of it and what I mean. And I think you'll agree, and I would love to hear your take. So feel free to chat. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat while I do the show. And certainly if you're watching this in the replay, I leave these up, then please do comment. I appreciate it. So last week was a good week. We had 2 videos, you may have noticed. One was on my Aurora Optima O Sole Mio and my pen journey with it. How it went from a pen that I didn't really like that much because the nib wasn't very good. I actually have it here. It's been the pen of the summer. And once Kirk Spear worked on the nib, now I have it handy all the time. I really like it. It's very much my orange cello pen. I put a little joke in there you may have seen. If you didn't watch that video, please catch it. It's a lot of fun. Very light and conversational. It's a lot like a live, actually. But I did want to get my feelings out on this pen and why I like it now. I mean, it's an extraordinary pen. It has some fantastic attributes, not the least of which is an ebony feed and really interesting cellulose, proprietary cellulose material in the barrel, beautiful gold trim, an incredible nib now that it's fixed, and an ink window, which I always enjoy, piston fill. It went up a lot in price. When I got this, it was less than $500. And now it's like $700, I think. That's big money. I won't pay for luxury. I'm telling you. We'll get into that. So catch that video. And then the other video that I put out was kind of hidden stationery finds, hidden stationery secrets. And I rewarded those of you that watched it straight through. Because some folks just clicked on it and were like, Kinokuniya, I know that, and then they click off. And then they make a dismissive comment. And I'm like, you missed the secret part. That was the fun part, though. In fact, I'll show you my stamps that I bought now that I can. I really wanted to show these to you, but I had to wait until the video premiered. But aren't these cool? I should have bought more. I should have bought the rabbits. I suppose I still could. But these are a lot of fun. Should we stamp something? Let's stamp something. I'm going to use I'll use them both. I'm going to quickly stamp them. I'm usually very conscientious. I try to be. And sometimes yeah, that was terrible. That's kind of the thing with rubber stamps. They're kind of fun. In a way, you can miss. So that's a little bit of a miss. And then you can also get different textures if you do fresh ink and then you keep going. Ah, that's a hit. Look at that. I redeemed myself. My stamping bona fides. But is it just me, or are rubber stamps like really cool? I think they're fantastic. So I bought these at Kinokuniya. And sometimes I clean before I stamp. Take a little bit of paper towel. Well, this is a shop towel. And I'll clean around the edges so you don't get that frame when you stamp. I'm just cleaning them up a little bit. I really like these. I'm really happy with them. They make me happy. So that was one of my recent purchases. So that video does have a secret. There is a secret location for stationery I found. I found an absolutely epic journal, but I have so many journals. And my favorite are Bottega Obscura. That's never going to change. I really don't think so. I love them. And I'm about to do a special project in my Bottega Obscura. I'm going to learn how to do an illuminated manuscript, or at least a version of it. Even if I just do a T. But I think I want to do something with a frame here. Excuse me. Like a frame with a T, and then maybe a figure, and then I'll write. That's what I want to do, but I need to learn how to do it. And I feel like I have the artistic ability to do it, at least enough. At least enough to be like one of those medieval scribes that can't draw cats. If you're familiar with medieval scribes and their terrible cats. So I can at least be that good. So that's a project I'm going to do. And it's very bright paper for a Bottega Obscura. Now, I'm not going to do it on every page. I don't think I have that kind of time. But certainly on the one. So I'm pretty excited. That's going to be coming. And I will document that journey so you can see it. But do catch the stationery video if you haven't. It's fun to kind of see me out in the wild. I think that's kind of fun. The other thing is, this week is a very, very special video. It's the main one that I went to New York for. Not the Morgan Library and not the stationery one, but this one. It's very, very special. It's how to travel like a writer. It's about how to make the perfect travel journal. And not just out of stuff, but what to put in there so that it has a compelling Anthony Bourdain style narrative. Something that's very true to you as a person, something that speaks to you, something that you can pick up years later and Proust-like reemerge like the taste and smell of a Madeleine and re-enter a memory from years before. How do you anchor your observations in your travel journal in that sort of rich sensory experience that can suck you through time back to the instant that you wrote it? Is there a way to do that? Yes. Yes, there is. Have I discovered it? I have. Wow, I've discovered something. So I think you'll really like this video, but oh, I'm hitting the table. It's special for another reason. I recorded it throughout the weekend. So I'm in various locations using the wireless microphone with the noise filter on. You wouldn't hear me. I actually recorded an entire segment in Grand Central Station and forgot to put the noise filter on, and it was unusable. That was not pleasant. I had to redo it, but redo it I did. And that comes out Thursday. And I also recorded a video on the KG notebooks, which I think I forgot to bring over, but yeah, I did. So KG are these notebooks that were popping up all over my social media. And anything stationery oriented, it's going to get me eventually if it keeps popping up. That clickable fountain pen where the door opens sideways for some reason, the name of which escapes me at the moment. I had to buy that one and do a video on it because it annoyed me. But this one, I left a comment and I'm like, is the paper any good for fountain pens? And I never heard anything back for months. And then one day they said, hey, how about we send you some? And I was like, okay, send them. And I decided to try them out. And I made a short and then I went in depth and did a whole video, kind of spontaneous on my thoughts. So that'll come up. I have to finish editing it, but that should air sometime, probably Friday or Saturday. So you get 2 videos this week, which is probably good. I'm a little behind on shorts. I usually make more shorts, but I've been kind of busy making videos. I'm so inspired with the videos, guys. So anyway, maybe you'll like that. And I should mention that I will be at the DC Pen Show. I kind of want to chicken out a little bit. There's part of me that is afraid, to be honest. I'm a little nervous. I feel like my strength is being with my family. And I'm a little nervous being apart from my family for a whole day, putting myself in a very kind of, I say stressful in regards to I have to get up early, get to a plane super early, fly to a place, get some transportation to another place. The pen show should be lovely, but there's the introverted part of me that's terrified. And I usually hold my wife's hand, and that's how I get through it. And my wife is really good at creating little oases, little spots of safety for me. Last year, she found a nice place outside, or 2 years ago, at the DC Pen Show, where I could kind of catch my breath and spend time with her and center and be okay. So I don't have that. I have to do it myself, but that's okay. I know many of you will be there, and I'm sure it'll be lovely. And then I have to fly back, and then Sunday I'm going to do nothing because I have to go back to work on Monday. So that is this weekend. So if you want to meet me, you should be able to recognize me. I'm tall. I'm 6'2", and I'm thinking I'm going to wear a bow tie and a blazer. So unless I change my mind, that's how you'll recognize me. Bow tie and blazer. Kind of like how I looked in New York. I might wear different pants. So that's my plan for the weekend, and please do check out my videos. And if you watch each week, please also subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. I'd love to have you on this journey with me. All right, so I have to talk about something else that's going to lead directly into our main topic. And it's this very special fountain pen I just bought right here. I bought a pen. I think it's like my second pen I bought this year. I haven't bought many pens in 2026. It's pretty amazing. But I did buy this one for a video that's coming out in October. Does anyone recognize this pen? It is a classic design with a bit of houndstooth in the middle. Makes it perfect for me. And I'm going to give it away. I think most of you know what it is anyway. But let me tell you something. And this is the exciting part. I think it's exciting. I had a dream last night that I was doing a segment on one of my top 5 lists, and it was on the Pilot Millennium. And it was a pen that was released in 2020 that had a traditional piston filler with a twist piston like you see in Waterman and Conklin and other pens. And as you know, Pilot doesn't use those. They use Con 40s, Con 70s. But the Millennium from 2020 had that kind of fill system. Now, that pen doesn't exist, but I had a very detailed dream with it, And I was talking all about it. I'm like, it's just like the Pilot Metropolitan, but it has a different fill system. A piston filler with a twist knob. Now there's a twist. And I was doing this whole review in my sleep. So maybe I need a break from reviewing. I'm doing them in my sleep for pens that don't exist. But they should exist. There should be a Pilot Millennium. It's a brilliant idea, I think, if I do say so myself. Tori Hall. Hey, Tori Hall is new to the channel with a 10-pound super chat. Thank you, Tori. You have a letter coming to you, by the way. I mailed it this morning. Staying up past my bedtime to drop in and say hi. Hi. I can't wait to start getting some letters out. Hope this helps to keep the lights on. I'm sure it will. Thank you so much for the kind support. Tori's on the Pen Pal group list, everyone. So please do dash a letter out to her. Get your forever international stamps. That's what I use. And I wrote a nice letter to her with my Watchman 52 with the flex nib. So I think you'll dig it. So thank you, Tori. You're the best. Okay, back to this pen. So how does this add into our main conversation? Well, this is a fine nib. Pilot Metropolitan. It's filled, excuse me, it's filled with Namiki Black. A very nice black ink. Not quite as glossy as I would wish, but when I tell you that this pen is smooth and fast, you can post it, yeah. I'm so hesitant to post. I'm a reformed poster. When I tell you how precise this pen is, oops, unless you move the paper, it is glorious. And it got me thinking. The surprising thing, and this is going to be a very bold, controversial statement, but it's true, I assure you. This Pilot Metropolitan, $25, squeeze converter, steel nib, very cool flat feed with sort of stripes on it. I really like the feed. I wish it were in a different color. I like different color feeds. But this pen, this humble pen, with brass core though, it's got some weight, right? It's metal pen, brushed finish, beautiful houndstooth, $25. Writes better than some of my Mont Blancs, some of my most expensive pens. This is incredibly, undeniably smooth, effective. It's a really perfect looking pen aesthetically for me and my tweedy lifestyle. As you know me and my tweedy lifestyle. We're about to get into tweed season, so I will be mostly tweedy, but houndstooth, it's perfect, right? But when you think you get this for 25, and I know, look, these kind of rationalizations and comparisons, I built the channel on comparisons, so can't criticize myself for that. But these kind of rationalizations where, what is value and all that. But I'll say that I'm hesitant to pay for luxury when you get so much value from a pen like this for $25. That were I to test you side by side, you would have to admit that this is as good as any pen. And when you think 10 times more expensive, that's $250. You're talking 40 times more expensive. This is better. So what are you paying for? What am I paying for? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. I have to recognize some lovely people. Zabrasi, $5 super chat. Thank you. Is there a pen store in Amsterdam you would recommend? Thanks for all the great videos. Yeah, Apple Boom's there, right? Or close to there. I'm American. My geography is terrible. But yeah, Apple Boom's awesome. That's where I would go. Lovely guy, too. He hands out cookies. You got to love a guy who hands out biscuits. So have a wonderful trip. And thank you so much for the generous support. I appreciate it. DW7324, $1.99. Thank you so much. Living the fountain pen dream. Here, here. That's what we're here for. Yeah, I was the other night. That was last night. The Pilot Millennium. I'm just inventing pens, but I think it'd be a good concept. Maybe I should talk to Pilot. I don't know. Thank you for the generous support. And Gary Morris. Thank you. I have a Watchman Edson arriving this afternoon. You legend. You absolute legend. So happy after missing out on getting one at numerous auctions over the past 12 months. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much and congratulations. I love the Watchman Edson. I can't get enough of that pen. It's so good, so perfect in so many ways. Wow, which pen should I bring to Washington? I'm going to travel very light. I'm debating whether or not to bring the book I'm reading because it's kind of heavy. I might bring a bag though, so maybe then I'll put some stuff in it. But I'm not going to bring too many pens. I might just bring one. That's what I'm thinking. Jay Gala, 89.91, $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. The fine point is great, but the medium with Irishizuku is so good. Yeah, well, I have a medium too, to be honest. My silver one is medium, but this is next level. It is so choice. I do recommend it if you have the means. And for $25, we all have the means. Brick by Brick, my dear friend, $30 super chat. Thank you so much. Just because, supporting the channel, it's tons of fun. So far, I've not broken my exercise streak. Congratulations. Began July 1st and have not missed a day yet. Well done. I know you've been through a lot. You have my respect. You have my warmth and a big hug. I'm wishing you the best. You are a legend. Thank you for the support. Wow. We're flowing with the super chats. Thank you. I'm going to get them all in, and then we're going to get back to the topic. Hazel Neil, 13. Hi, Hazel. $10. Thank you. I was telling my friends about a pen I bought, the Diplomat Viper, and one said, "Oh, that's not bad." Regarding the price, I fear I may have corrupted my friend group. You may have. That's a fun pen. I like mine. I made a John Wick themed video with that pen because it felt kind of tactical, and I had a blast with that. Thank you for the support. Always a pleasure. And the lovely David Pearson's $5. HJ, thanks for the birthday message. Of course. Happy birthday, David. You're the best. God bless and have fun at the DC show. Thank you. I appreciate it. Give your wife your wallet before entering the show itself. Yes, so where am I vulnerable? Well, actually, it relates. Thank you for the generous support. It relates back to the topic, so let's get back into it. There are so many great pens, I think, that are at the aspirational level and not at the crazy level. And this is not to say that you shouldn't buy whatever you want. And I know that's kind of a lame disclaimer because I like to take stances and stick by them. And I've watched videos where people sort of undermine their point by saying, well, you do whatever you want. But I think it's important that you do whatever you want. That's sort of the backbone of this channel. And I'm certainly leaving room to contradict myself. But the distinction that I want to make is that I refuse to pay for luxury. But that doesn't mean I won't buy an expensive pen. So let me explain. If I'm buying a pen and the value add is some kind of an experience, I am going to be much more hesitant to buy that pen unless that experience that's tied up in it is related somehow to it being unique, to being customized to me, or some kind of artisanal flair. I'll give some examples. Sei is a Japanese pen maker who makes incredible fountain pens. Now has nibs too. I think he was using Schmidt, but he also has his own nibs now, or that are made for him, which is cool. Whatever he does, they're nicer, they're gold. But his pens are exquisite. They're little pieces of art, $800, but handmade. Dragons on them. They are incredible. My wife has one. I love it. And Say is cool. He's one of the coolest people I know. He's got this cool hair. He's got the cool clothes. He's very warm. He's very, very nice. If you see him in DC, if he's going this year, I'm assuming he's going, say hi. Look at what he has. He has a little cat pen. I have to get one of the cat pens. It's so amazing. But it's something like that. You know, it's a small maker. It's an artisanal pen. It has love. It has the history of craftsmanship. Maybe it's a rushi or maki or some other kind of traditional style of decorative art. That's not luxury to me. To me, that's artisanal. Yeah, that's right. Artisanal. It's a piece of art. It's got love and attention, and it's unique. There are no two the same. That is worth whatever someone asks for it, because it takes hours. How do you put a price on someone's labor by the hour? It's very, very difficult. I'm looking at my cat. My cat's creeping in because the back door's open, and she wants to go out there. And not out on the porch. There's screens. She can't go out. There's scary monsters here. We're at the edge of the woods. So we get coyotes in the back. We get fisher cats. So she cannot go out there. But she likes to pretend she's got the hunter instinct. But anyway, she pops up in a video. It's kind of a non sequitur. But I was filming B-roll. It was Friday night late. I think it was this pen. I think it was the Pilot Metropolitan. And she got in frame. And literally like big cat head, and I'm holding the pen up in front of big Ophelia cat head. And I left it. I considered it providential. And I posted on Instagram to show everyone that my cat was in frame. So that's coming out in October. You can check that out. But another value add is if the nib is worked for you or if it's customized, take those Kaweco Sports. Over at Paper Mouse in West Newton, Massachusetts, they had the Kaweco folks that put the different pieces together and you can customize your sport. I don't know what that costs. I'm sure it's north of the $35 the normal ones cost. Maybe it's $70. But that's cool. That's unique. That's a value add experience that also gives you something unique and custom to you. When I went to Paris on the Champs-Élysées, I got a Lacoste polo with a custom crocodile. And yes, it's a crocodile. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. Crocodile. Henri Lacoste was known as the Croc on the tennis court. Crocodile. So it's crocodile, not an alligator. So anyway, I got a beautiful Metro Station Lacoste polo there. It was a little bit more expensive than a normal one. Actually, they didn't really milk me. I was happy. It was like $20 more, I think. Yeah, it wasn't much more at all. And it's very special to me. My daughter got one too. I don't know if she can still fit into it. I'm growing down. I'm getting skinny. So I can fit into things. DW7324, $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I see two axes of value, the functionality and the form. Each can compensate on the other, but neither can be absent. That's an interesting concept. Let's think about this. So to you, it's functionality and form. I like the idea. Thank you for the chat. Functionality and form does rule out materials, right? Or do you lump in materials with either, could form be materials? But form, to me, is more shape. But certainly functionality is important. That's one thing that many of us forget in buying pens. Though in someone like Say's case, you're buying the pen for the pen. And then you can put whatever nib you want on it, which is cool. But a pen that doesn't write is kind of a silly thing to me. And that's why I demand across all price points. I am a bit of a annoying person when someone says, well, Jinhao, it's $20. It didn't write. Well, it's only $20. Well, it's still $20. It's a pen. It should have written. I don't mean to pick on Jinhao, but that's my point. Certainly for $1,000. There are grades to these things. You spend $1,000 for a Mont Blanc, get it home, and it has fits and stops and starts and skips and all sorts of things. That's heartbreaking. And that's part of the problem here. I am susceptible to advertising. I love a good story. I love craftsmanship and tradition. I love when something's tied in to something else that I really like. I like the idea that John F. Kennedy wrote with a Mont Blanc 149. Even if it was once, that's enough. Ties it in. It's kind of cool. I like that. But if you're buying it for the salon experience that you go in, for some reason they don't treat me very good. I don't know why that is. When I go into the Boston boutique, they're always like really rude to me. And I don't think they know who I am. It's just circumstance. Because I remember the last time I went in there and I just casually asked about the burgundy pens. And the guy was like, I told you already that they're not, that you have to special order them. And I was like, yeah, I never asked you that. I haven't been in here. But it was odd. I don't know why. But that's neither here nor there. If you do go in, you should be treated very nicely. And that's nice. But I'm not paying for that. I think for me, if I'm buying a nice pen, an expensive pen, I'm buying it used. And the one I have my eye on, and the one I would be very susceptible at the DC Pen Show is, yes, you've guessed it, the Mont Blanc Hemingway. If I happen to see one of those, I might part with some treasure. I kind of feel, I know I said I'd never buy it. It depends on the price. I probably could trade some of my other pens for it. There are ones I could probably do without. There's ones I can't. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to do an episode on that soon, but I'll hint at it in a minute. But I just kind of feel like at some point I should have a Mont Blanc Hemingway. And I don't feel like I need a pristine one. In fact, I want one that I can have fun with and not worry too much. I don't think I want it new in the box. I think I want a writer's grade. No cracks. That's important. I won't buy a pen with cracks. I won't buy a pen with chips. But scratches? I don't care about scratches. I don't care about scratches on my own pens. I get comments all the time, people that watch it on television. For one thing, my nibs are always dirty, and I shouldn't wipe them before, but I do, and it ends up just putting little fuzzes on there. Even if you use microfiche, as I do, or suede, it still puts like something. It's filming. It's always going to do something that embarrasses me, like a cat hair. It's always going to be a cat hair. And I'm not going to see it with these eyes. You can't even see my eyes. I can't see you. It's terrible. I'm not going to see something tiny like that. But I don't mind scratches. To me, it's a life well lived. Hey, that could be a YouTube channel. It just shows a bit of presence, a bit of history and use in utility. And it doesn't bother me. So if I found a Hemingway like that and I liked the price, I would certainly buy it. But no chips, no scratches. That's very, very important to me. Scratches and chips drive me crazy. Crazy. So that's kind of my one grail. And I would probably buy another Edson in a different color, an expensive pen. I don't consider it a luxury pen. It is what it is, and it's rare, and they're not making any more. So I can appreciate that. I saw recently that Mont Blanc put out a Bram Stoker pen, and I think a Dracula one too. And the Bram Stoker is kind of Bram. It's Bram Stoker, right? Because it's Abraham Stoker. Whatever. I'm lost. It has like a little vial of blood in it, which is interesting. And I was thinking, wow, I could put writer's blood or gosh, I'm drawing a lot of blanks tonight. Kind of make this visceral vampire-inspired video, which I've always wanted to do. I haven't had occasion to make a vampire video, and I really want to, because I think you guys know that I pull different things into the channel, and I often wait until I find the right thing. I wanted to do Hannibal Lecter. I saw that he used the DeFi from St. Dubon, so I got one of those. I waited about a year and a half until I found one, but I'd love to do something on Dracula, on Polidori's vampire, on Camilla, things like that. I'm sure I could bring in Nosferatu. See, if I do a vampire video, I could take all of Nosferatu because it's beyond copyright. So I can repurpose any of that, which is great. But I don't dare. I don't dare. It's $1,300 for the least expensive of it. And it's a crapshoot with Mont Blanc, and they're terrible QC these days. Will it write? Will it not write? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Lewis Hamilton, how are you? $10 super chat. Thank you. Hey all, I changed my username from Filter Free Photography to Lewis Hamilton. Also, I picked up the Pilot Custom Arusian Vermilion. Wow, look at you. You are magnificent. Thank you for that super chat. That pen is epic. I have mine always within reach. And reach, I do. I do reach for it. I have my Mont Blanc 149. I have another surprise here. The Bohème Douai, which I bought on Peyton Street Pens, south of 500. I think it was just around $500. I forget. I'd have to go look. But I'll take this all day over a new one. All day. It's so fun. It's so cool. Yeah. It's a great pen. It's ridiculously impractical, but that's okay. That's why I love it. It's super pretty. Pretty's important. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's a gorgeous pen. Yeah, love it. So this is kind of what I'm saying. Why buy a brand new Mont Blanc if you can't trust it? When you can get something like that from Peyton Street Pens that you know's been tried, you know it works, you don't have to worry. Here's a Watchman 52 in red swirl. I just wrote Tori Hall a letter with this pen. It's brilliant. You can only put good guy inks in it though, because the bladders just like to peter out on you and dissolve. So this is a really good pen. It's a lot of fun. You can crank down on it if you want. You can definitely get some nice line variation. Yeah, not bad. It's fun. It's a little exhausting, to tell you the truth. After a while, you get kind of tired of bending down. Kind of fun. Anyway, always handy. Some things are always handy. Another thing that's always handy. Ah, yes, Egyptomania. Is this making another return to the channel in video form? Oh yes, just you wait. I have a video coming out I am so proud of. It almost killed me. It took me 2.5 weeks to write. It took me 2 days to film, and it took me 2 days to edit. And it's like 24 minutes long. So it was a lot. It was a lot. Speaking of a lot, Nathan King, you legend, $20. Thank you so much. Recently found a new in-box Mont Blanc Dostoevsky from 1997. Amazing pen. Well done. I hope you inked it and wrote with it. Enjoy it. It's fantastic. Congratulations. Good stuff. I appreciate the support of the channel too. I might buy some other pens whilst in DC. I feel like I am overdue for a new Pilot Custom 823. I'm kind of mad I didn't get the one, was it Pen Boutique that had the blue one? That was really pretty. But as usual, I got distracted and forgot the day they put them out. But that's a really pretty pen. I mean, the blue's not really to my taste, but it's different. I like different. Different's good. James Bird, how are you? James, $4.99. Thank you so much. Picked up a Parker 51 special vintage pen a few weeks ago, and it writes like a dream. Brand new in the box. Congratulations, James. Thanks for the support. Parker 51, pardon me. Absolute classic. There's a reason why Queen Elizabeth had a box of those pens, and often featured on my channel. This is another contender for bringing to the DC Pen Show. The Lamy 2000. The pen I hate to love and love to hate. But lately I've been hating loving it. So, and it's filled with Darth Lilac, which is one of my favorite colors. So, and then rounding out my handy collection is my Pelican. Gorgeous. With the metal ectoskeleton and the inside kind of vial. This is great. I did a video on this a few weeks back. The pattern repeats. Kind of fun. Check that one if you haven't seen them. And don't miss this week's video. It's very important, guys. I think you'll like it because it's kind of done in that sort of travelogue way where I'm on screen in Bryant Park and then I'm in other places and I have my wireless mic on and I'm presenting all my information. I had the script on my wife's phone. I had to email it to her so that I could read it. Fortunately, it wasn't scripty script. It was, I have to hit these points and then I just make it up. I just do it off the fly because it's better that way. But I don't want to miss the points. And a couple of like good quotes. I didn't want to miss the quotes. I think those are important. Speaking of important, Fountain Pen Carl. Hi, Carl. $10. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing these shows. They're scheduled on my calendar. Thank you for watching. I'd be nothing without you guys watching. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate the questions and the comments and the interaction. I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe. If you watch every week, like Fountain Pen Carl does, who puts it on his reminder, which is really nice. What a great guy. And thank you for the support. So if you're watching each week, please just hit that subscribe button and consider joining the channel too. Membership is fun. You get to be at the end credits. And I put videos back there. You guys don't watch too many of them. I'm surprised. I have to make them more interested. I'm going to have to really strive to get some attention back there. But we do Zoom calls. We're going to do that again in the autumn. That's a lot of fun. Chat directly. So, yes, there's all of that. Good stuff. So, I'd say that there's so much value out there in the segment that's like 400 and below. And 400 is getting pricey. I mean, Pilot Custom 823 at 400, you can still find it in the threes, is getting lofty. It's starting to be sort of luxury. I mean, you do get a lot of value. It's extraordinary. It performs well. It's got a novel fill system. Fantastic nib. Such a great pen. I want a demonstrator. That would be fun. You have other pens like the Watchman Karen. Absolutely brilliant. You can still find those in the twos for the plain black, which is all you need. The amber is usually pretty inexpensive too. I think that's around $3. That is such a pretty pen. I love mine. Highly recommend it. Never get tired of Watchman. And those are gold nib pens. Of course, you have Platinum 3776. Another great deal with a gold nib. The Lamy 2000. Another one. The Vanishing Point or Capless, whichever you like to call it. absolute bargain, under $2 or around $2-ish for a clicky pen. So if you can get all those, it's hard for me to rationalize $1,000. It just is. Texas Easy Writer, my friend, how are you? I hope you're doing okay, man. Thinking about you. Just want you to know that I'm thinking about you. I read your email. You know I did. $2 support. Thank you so much. Found a Montblanc Traveler 147 with a sterling silver cap. Ooh, like a duet. Came from Berlin. Ooh, fantastic. Beautiful pen, great condition, writes great, luxurious cap without paying the luxury price. Came with a new inbox case. Very pleased. Well done. I have one of those somewhere. Where it is, nobody knows. Oh, there it is. I have it. Yeah, I love these. It's so great. And lovely people sent me. Somebody said, well, I traded for the pen, which is lovely. And somebody sent me the case. Thank you, both. Love it. So congrats for you. I have my onion skin journal here. My poetry journal. I know I show this. I'm trying to finish this. My poems are, some of them are good, but not so much in here. Because, I mean, I have to read back through them and see if anything's worthy of me kind of recopying. But I'll show you this. I know I showed it to you before, but it's just so cool. Onion skin is so cool. I use this as an exercise to free up my mind. Look at this. You can see like 3 and 4 pages down. You just embrace the ghosting. There's no bleed through. It's just ghosting. You can just see that you wrote on the other side. It's translucent by design. Some artists use that where they put layers on top of each other, which is very neat. Me, I like to write, what is it? Palimpsest, right? Where you can see writing over writing. These are my poems that I do to clear my brain and get me thinking in unique ways. And I like to write them all in red. This pen's red, so I've been using it to write them. And like I said, they're of various quality. Some of my poems I'm proud of. I'm not sure about these. I started this 2 years ago, so I'm still working on it. It does sit for months, sadly. I didn't date everything. I didn't date anything except the front, but beautiful. Onion skin is beautiful. And Vanessa's awesome. She makes these, as you probably know. She was on the channel. I do have a discount code in the description. I'll always help a small artisanal company like hers. And like Bottega Obscura, who I adore. This is a very cool, different kind of writing experience. The experience is great, and the after effect is interesting. So I highly recommend it. I do. I love these. I should have Vanessa back on. She's always up to something. Always something innovative in her world. And I'm kind of looking forward to DC too. I'm wondering if Ben Walsh is going to be there. I know that Jacqueline of Pilot, she got married. I forget her married name. Burley was her maiden name. I forget her married name. I'm terrible that way. But I mean, that's awesome. She got married. Congratulations. All the good stuff happens once you get married, at least for me. But I'm psyched to see Jacqueline. I'm going to probably take a few timeouts at the Pilot table and hang out. I think that'll be fun. I'm going to crash Drew's table at Farney's. I'm going to definitely crash at Drew. So prepare yourself. For me, it's a lot. Yeah, we'll see who else is there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It always is. It's a lot. It's a big day, so it's going to be intense. Very, very intense. I do want to mention again the video this week because I'm so proud of it. And my cat's still out on the porch. She's so cute. She's like walking around sniffing everything. Ophelia, what are you doing? So, this week's video is how to travel like a writer, how to make observations, what to put in your travel journal, how to link it all together into a compelling narrative, how to make it such that you remember every moment. Well, every moment you want to remember. How do you do that? There's a method to it, and I go through it in this video. So I think you'll really enjoy it. And like I said, I'm all over New York City doing it. So super, super fun. I see a comment here. DW7324, never managed to be fast enough to get a Bottega Obscura. By the time I click the email, they're gone. I'm sorry about that. You can try emailing him directly. That has worked for some folks. He's an artist. He makes them when he's inspired. That's kind of what you have to deal with. But they're so amazing. One of my favorites is, I guess I'm rubbing it in a little bit, but this one. I love the size, and I love the spine of this one. And the sort of dragon Ouroboros. So cool. I love it. I love it. So neat. Can't wait to write in this one. But I think I might do the vertical one next. They are the best. I'm proud to call him a friend. And I'll always help him if I can. Yeah, Joe Brown, you stood me up. I got to publicly shame you, Joe. Shame. Shame. Sorry I won't be there, HJ, but I'll be at the Boston Pen Friends on Saturday. Should be a great meeting. Yeah, well, I'm sure. Boston Pen Friends, lovely people. So if you'd rather spend time with them, Joe, that's fine. I even told you what flights I was on. I was hoping you and I would be together. We'd have a blast. You're a photographer. You could have helped me with my videography. That's the other thing. I don't know how I'm going to film. I have no one to film me. I might grab random strangers and say, would you mind? That could be awkward and strange. So, but that's okay. That's the theme of my life. So it should be fun. I will miss you, Joe. I run into Joe everywhere. Great guy. So, I guess the final word on luxury for me is I really don't mind buying expensive pens, but I'm definitely being much more of a curator of the things in my life, including something I mentioned briefly. I said I'd circle back to and didn't, but I remembered. Now I will. I am building a pen library of sorts, and I'm going to do an episode on this very soon, but the idea is very representative of different types and different moods, much for the channel, for filming. I need to be able to grab things, even some things I don't like. I need to be able to compare things, even if they're disparate. Don't immediately spring to mind as being connected. Usually with me, there's something that compels me to compare them. So that is one of the things I keep in mind. So when I go to purchase, I weigh it, how it fits in with what I have, whether or not I really need it, and whether or not it really inspires joy, and if it's useful and beautiful, and it has to kind of reach that level, and then it can come home with me and share some quiet times, precious quiet times. So it should be a lot of fun though when I do add them, like this. Oh, there was another thing I didn't tell you about this Pilot Metropolitan. So I bought it for that video, and I think it was perfect for it. I think it's perfect for me. And my wife stole it immediately. I had to ask her for it for this video, for this live. And by the way, I'm delighted that she did. I think this is brilliant. I love how smooth it is. And it makes me happy that my wife likes it too. So I'm inspired that she's inspired. I think that's absolutely wonderful. So 2 videos this week. I have to finish editing one, but it's coming. And of course, how to travel like a writer. Don't miss that on Thursday. And thanks so much for watching. If you've reached this point, please subscribe. That's all I ask. I'd love to have you on this journey with me. And I keep making videos, shorts, and live shows, so I can promise you'll see me maybe in Washington, D.C. this Saturday. You see me in person. My big goofy self will be there. Anything can happen. You should be able to find me. My frames are recognizable. I'll probably wear a bow tie and a blazer, so you should see me. So thank you all for watching. It means a lot. It really does. It's a privilege to be here each week. So I guess I'll see you next week. Take care. Much love. And I'm sure there'll be a Washington episode too. So stay tuned for that. Take care.